day 3. So today's probably been the hardest day to keep up with the daily vlogs, I guess you can call them. But yeah, we're still on the road to 100k a month, and let's just double check what time it is. It's 4:49 a.m. Now, this gives you an idea of what time I might go to sleep on a typical day. No, it doesn't. But I usually go to sleep at this time anyway. And I thought, you know what? I was sat in bed just then thinking, shit, I need to upload this video. If I don't upload this video, I'm a failure. What has gone on with today? Let me think. What have I done? What have I achieved? So, we launched our product design academy, which I mentioned we were going to launch. Relaunched it at a lower price point and got some emails out. So far, looking really good, to be fair. We made a sale, so that's Stripe takes away $10, so that's $87 in a purchase, which is good. It's a step forward in the right direction. And yeah, I've been thinking about that. I also refunded the person that I mentioned just earlier on, so I was a man of my word in that regard. All is well. We've also had some really good news from some other students that have landed opportunities. So yeah, we're looking good. Uh, I felt really tired, man. I felt really tired when it comes to my workload, and I've been thinking about ways to be a bit more efficient. And I'm like in the market of looking for what they call virtual assistants. So I had a meeting about a virtual assistant earlier on, and I'm working on trying to get one on board. Like, if anyone knows any good resources or sites, please forward them my way, because I'm not used to this sort of thing. But I think it would be a great, from what I've heard and from the people that use them that I know, they've sung so many praises. So I'm in the market for virtual assistants. I think from a founder standpoint, it's really important that we focus on the heavy lifting jobs that are heavy lifting, and the things that are priority that only we should be able to tackle, and anything else that can be delegated should be delegated as much as possible. And that allows you to free up a lot of your bandwidth and focus on value. I believe my job is to deliver as much value as possible, and when I'm caught in the weeds, it's very difficult to do that and still have bandwidth for everything else. So that's why I'm looking at a virtual assistant now. With my experiences with losing a lot of momentum, revenue, all that stuff. If I were to do it again, I definitely would reconsider the use of virtual assistants. A big thing that I think caused downfalls in the past was my desire to treat my company as though we are a funded startup, and we were going on a fundraising run anyway, in 2021. So it made sense at the time, but things didn't pan out the way that I wanted them to, and I inevitably just lost all desire for trying to raise venture capital or angel investments, simply because it just didn't feel like it was for me. I didn't like the structure. I didn't like the, I feel like when you're at the bottom and you're trying to get your foot through the door, you've got to kiss a lot of ass, and you've got to do certain things that just aren't conducive to building what I would consider a value driving company. You have to impress some people that haven't ever built anything of substantial value a lot of the time. And a lot of people have opinions on what you should and shouldn't do, but they've never sat in your position. And for me, I didn't like that, and it didn't sit right with me, knowing that I was pausing a lot of my heavy lifting in hopes, well, heavy lifting and value driving efforts for my community, in hopes to raise some money from, yeah, it didn't work for me. And maybe it's because of my attitude, maybe it's because I see the world in a weird way, or see the world in my own way especially at the time. But for me, not of interest at this stage. And I'm happy that I went through the process, but I'm a bit bummed out, to be fair, because I certainly could have extracted more resources from the company and improved my overall like personal situation a lot better if I did extract money and I didn't treat as if we're going to be like a funded company that goes for VC money. I think the vision's big enough, but like yeah, it's just not something I'm interested in or think is viable for this vehicle. Maybe in future I'll create more software related companies or create more venture backable companies, but for now it's just not of interest. But I say all of this to go back to the point of virtual assistants. With all the information I have now, I probably would have opted to go for virtual assistants because it's cheaper labor and I wouldn't have had to do as I think I wouldn't have had to deal with some of the problems that I faced as a like founder. But that's all right. Like shit happens and you learn. A big thing that I talk to some of my founder friends about at the moment is the fact that the fact that I feel like I've not been to the top, but like I've been to some mountains, metaphorical mountains, of course, and I've seen some things, I've learned some things, and now that I'm back at base camp, it's now preparing for another summit, and I believe a big thing that I need to focus on is keeping lean, keeping everything as agile as possible, and just moving quick work where whenever it permits, but also just try not to accrue any excess baggage or debt. And I think we'll be on the right track to a prosperous future, one that I can say I've learned from my mistakes, and I'm certainly building towards greatness. I hope this is recording. Oh yeah, it's recording. So yeah, been working on getting like a virtual assistant, so fingers crossed I can start to give some of my like daily tasks to, and hopefully some admin work, because I've got a shit ton of admin work to figure out and to focus on. But I'm in one of those weird positions where if I don't do the value driving things that I do right now, like I have no form of income, so no consistent form of income. So it's like if I was to spend more time doing admin, I'm like really hurting myself. So it's like a catch-22, which I'm not the happiest with, but it's just where things are at right now, and it's all good. We'll figure it out, of course, so that's fine. What else have I been doing? I mentioned I'm reading like Russell Brunson's .com Secrets. I mentioned that in the first video. I've learned a few things, and I'm, okay with admitting that I feel like there are a lot of things that we've left on the table. So like the other day when I was speaking about the fact that I felt like the market changed and it became really difficult to acquire new customers, new students. On one hand, I'm aware of what happened where like money just wasn't as available to our target demographic, so it's more difficult to invest in their future. But at the same time, as a founder or like the company's frontman, I guess I can call it. I always hate the word CEO. It feels corny calling myself that, so I've never really wanted to call myself. But yeah, the front guy, whatever. I feel like in my job, it's to be able to. My thing is, I should have been a bit more agile and I should have been able to adapt to the situation much better than I did. I think at the time, because I was just coming off a very stressful funding round or attempt at a funding round, and also dealing with issues with staff that we had. Bearing in mind, like our company weren't even past 12 members of staff, so for us to have some of the issues we had, I feel like that was just really draining and very unproductive for where we were going. I feel like I think some of them did damage the momentum of the company and just the overall feeling, the morale. I hate the fucking word morale, man. There was a person who we had that caused so many issues before they joined. We never heard the word morale. Everything was cool, and then after it's like, oh shit. But yeah, that's one thing. But yeah, like going back to the point, what was my point? See, I ramble so much. Yeah, it's my job to focus on value, and I feel like, oh, I've lost my thought. I'm gonna rewatch this and think, damn, you knew like you were gonna land, but you didn't. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, cool. So yeah. So in terms of when things started going left and whatnot, I feel like my job was to figure out new ways to sell the story, for instance, or offer even more value and make it clear. And I've been focused on trying to create offers, but I don't feel like I've been as if I'm honest with myself, I don't feel like I've done as much to add value driving offers and shout about them. We're always good at getting attention, and I feel like it's not the most difficult thing in the world to get attention, especially when you think about like paid media and you can get paid ads and whatnot. But being able to hook these people in with a really good story and offer a great offer, I think I've left a lot on the table. And reading Russell Brunson's book has highlighted the significance of why you need to have as many offers as possible. I read Hormozi's thing, but I feel like because I was consuming a lot of Hormozi content at the time, I probably overlooked it. But now I'm thinking about all the stuff that comes up. So, for instance, I have sales calls with a lot of people that want to sign up to say our boot camps, and in these sales calls, I'm now, I get asked questions and I think to myself, is this not obvious on our website? Or are we not shouting about some of these things? For instance, what's a big question? Like, how does Love Circular help you land a job? And the actual answer is we will help you land a job. We will help you prepare for your interviews. We'll help you do anything you want us to do to help, like, assist your efforts and you feel as confident as possible. And I always like say this tongue in cheek, but it's like, we don't look good if you don't get jobs. So it's our job to figure out ways to consistently aid you in your search. So it's like stuff like that. And, when I say that I'm over the phone or over like Google Meets or whatnot, I can see the confidence and I can feel the confidence in someone, a prospect student. But on the website, I feel like that message isn't being translated. And in terms of our offer and our value, we're not shouting about stuff like that. And, one of the USPs for who we are as a company is our aftercare, our ability to continually turn up and show and perform for you and give you as many opportunities as possible to get the info and the value that you need from the company. It's right there, but I don't feel like we're doing a good job at putting that forward and really selling and shouting about that. So, after reading the book and stuff, I'm now in a position where I feel like I can work on that, and there are things that I'm tweaking on the website and things that I'm trying to do for our product pages to make sure other people feel like these questions are answered before they even get to the point where they have to ask it. Of course, there's always going to be a question to ask, but I really want to make it as obvious as possible and give this sort of information as clear as I can. So yeah, I've been thinking about offers quite a bit and how to go about it. One thing that I do like about Alex Hormozi's approach to stuff like this is he talks about creating offers that are so good it's hard for you to say no. For instance, to give everyone an idea, right? When it comes to like the bootcamp from Love Circular, doesn't really matter which one, but I'll go product design because I teach that and I know that one inside out. Even down to our price point, right? Our price point is roughly a month's salary. Maybe it's a month and a few days salary in your full-time job if you were to land like a 30 to 32K job after graduating. Now, on average, our students actually land jobs at 35K British pounds, and that's like the average job across all of I think it's like the mean across all of our students that land their first job. So given that, it's like, okay, if I'm creating this thing where if you're really capable and you put your head down and, follow the path that we set out in front of you and you do a lot of the, methods that we talk about correctly, you can spend £2,000 or 2,649, whatever the price is, and you will be able to recoup that within your first month of employment. And after that, you are all in profit. That sounds like an incredible deal, right? But at the same time, I feel like there could be a thought where people have doubts about their ability to get the help, and or they might have doubts about their ability to be able to perform this. But if we're doing a great job as a company marketing what we do well, we should be instilling a lot more faith. And I feel like we should be making it very clear to people that this is something you can do. And here's how we assist you along the way. So yeah, now I'm thinking about it's like, what can I do to shout about what we're good at and what we do well, and hopefully what we can, help someone, help how we can help someone achieve greatness. I feel like that's something that I should focus on and really dive deep and just build on some more. And yeah, that's why I'm working on offers more now and figuring out how to just word things and add even more value to our website and help people build even more trust with the brand. And that's like what I've been thinking about quite a bit today. In terms of where my head's at, mental health's cool. We're sweet. I saw some friends before. I hopped out like 11:30 to go get some food. Man, deliveries, yeah, it's alright, but it just weren't like hitting today. So I hopped out and got a fatire and stuff at Jaffa. If you ever in Manchester, check out Jaffa on Walthamstow Road. That place is incredible. And yeah, corny saying, but I'm not getting paid for this, obviously. I don't really get paid for much these days, man. I can't lie to you. It's tough, it's tough. But yeah, I did that and came home. I've been just hanging out and stuff. And now I'm thinking, I'm in two minds because I really want to work through the night, but I know that I'm just hurting myself if I keep working till the times that I like. So, like, say I'm working until 6 a.m. or whatever. It's probably not worthwhile. So, I'm setting up my day for tomorrow. I've got some calls to make. Hopefully I'm gonna catch up with one of my ex-students who is currently looking for some like part-time work and could help out with some of the stuff behind the scenes. If that goes well, that could be a very great opportunity for me to build even more value drivers in other areas. I've got some, what else am I working on tomorrow? I'm gonna do some copy for the cleaning website, the cleaning company. I'm gonna just pull together a really quick landing page and put that out to the market. If things go well and the numbers make sense, yeah, I'll double down and put some resources there. My plan with that, my large plan, is to get some momentum, do paid ads, get some traffic going through, get some jobs in. We've already got the operational bit set up when it comes to like the cleaners and the people that can drive value. So it's get them work, see how much a lead costs, how much, how long can we, develop a customer's, how long does a customer want to stay with us, how frequent is the work, that sort of thing, and how well can we put an offer together where there's some sort of recurring revenue, and yeah, we deliver on that. So I'm thinking about that, and I want to put the webpage together so it's a very straightforward proposition. And yeah, if things are looking good and there's good traction, I'll be more than happy to get to a point where I can delegate a lot of my work to either virtual assistants or I might get just an operator. I think you can do with VAs anyway. So I'll get an operator and have the operator do a lot of the back end. My mate's gonna sort out some other stuff anyway with the cleaners and organizing like anything on that front. And I'll also look to get just get a person to focus on marketing. I'll help do the high level stuff and make sure we are pointing in the right direction, and anything else that's needed in that area. But I'll be delegating a lot more of the ad side of things, the campaigns. I'll build the campaigns with the VA, and yeah, we'll execute together. But for the most part, I want to be able to dedicate like maybe a day a week for that sort of work and focus on Love Circuit for the rest of it. I want it to get to a point where I can kind of put that business on some like a certain degree of autopilot, and I'm more checking in. In future, I've been thinking about where I see my future with my businesses and stuff like that. And I'm really keen on, I realize I'm very keen on dabbling in different areas, and I like the thought of being able to have companies that intertwine in some sense, or they at least are built up to work together and hopefully they can benefit each other. So the more I think about that sort of stuff, it's like, all right, I don't want to run all of these companies every day. So I don't want to run all of these companies every day. What do I want to do? I want to have operators. I want to have people that can manage the companies. And I'm either really like an early investor, or I'm like a distant founder that doesn't have to be the front person for them. So I've been thinking about that, and this is like an attempt at seeing what we can do. It's again, I feel like it's a little outside of my thesis for what I really want to start with. In an ideal world, where I'd be going right now would be we would develop from Love Circular standpoint, we'll have Love Circular doing what it does. Then we'll build on some sort of agency proposition, and yeah, have an agency taking some really easy work, um, just churn work out for other clients, something where it's low ticket ish, like 2 3K sites, stuff like that. And then one of the things that I'd like to do is create opportunities for our students to get involved with teams and live briefs and work on some live work. It's a very risky thing, and I've thought about this quite a bit in the past, where students always ask like, can we get live projects? And in my head it's like, a lot of yous, like, clients want work tomorrow. They always want work tomorrow. So the time that's needed to put in, like, that would be required to put a lot of effort into a project, some students just can't do it. If we had a full-time course where we can measure the hours of input, it would be much easier, I feel, and that would be something that I'm more keen on doing. Maybe we will run a program that allows for this sort of thing in future, but as it currently stands, yeah, it's probably not going to be in the near horizon. But this is the sort of thing that I think about, and the way how I can start linking other services to the main value driver that I have right now, which is the education. Then we offer a service on top, and then we offer other things that go with that. Yeah, so yeah, that's like just a thought. Um, Again, I need to get on my feet, and I need to make sure Love Circular can be on. I don't want to call it autopilot, but I need it to be able to run and be stable and have an operating the business and a really good sales and marketing structure in place before I can start getting ahead of myself. So I'm not trying to do too much thought work over there, but I am curious, and I've got an idea for how I want the blueprint to work out over the coming like seasons or so. Do I have anything else to talk about? I don't feel like I have much to talk about today. I'm a bit tired. So yeah, I'm a bit tired. I'm probably just gonna call it here. I feel like this is a short episode. Don't always want to make the the longest episodes in the world, but it's nice. Before I actually recorded this, I was dreading it, and now that I've like aired some of my thoughts, it feels quite cathartic. I like it. I like talking to you a lot, even though like the views dropped significantly. We got 100 and like 120 views on the first video. I always knew like that would probably do better than the other ones, but like yesterday's video got like 32 views. Maybe the title's not good enough. Maybe my content shit. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But I'm glad. I'm glad I'm doing them, and I'm hearing. You know what? A lot of feedback. I think I might have talked about it yesterday, but a lot of the feedback has been super positive, and it's really helpful to know that a lot of people appreciate the transparency. Again, in my head, it's like, you're embarrassing yourself, dude, at times. But, like I said, I've made peace with it. But to hear that, like, it's giving some sort of value to people, it makes me feel better about what I'm doing and my mission. Again, I'm always on the mission of helping 1 million people get into tech. So I need to focus on that sort of stuff. And on that note, I will love yous and leave yous. I'm gonna head off to bed, and I'm probably gonna watch some TV or play chess and then head to sleep. Yeah, peace everyone. Later.